Alright guys, just to save some time, I went ahead and emptied out the contents in this side pouch here. I actually call this my junk drawer. That's where I keep a lot of my miscellaneous items. I've kind of categorized them, and so we'll just go ahead. I keep a carabiner with a set of earplugs inside. Roll of duct tape. A million reasons you need to have this in any kit. This is something I wanted to add to my bag that I thought would be beneficial. I've got it sealed with a piece of duct tape, but it's the red super glue, or the red Loctite, and I felt like that this might be beneficial in some type of situation that I may need to repair something. This came in a kit for putting on some gun sights on one of my weapons, so I decided to put that in my bag. Got a Gerber multi-tool. These are an absolute must in any kit as well. I've got a small spool of fishing line. Now this one also has multiple purposes, for the simple fact that this stuff is actually great for sewing up wounds. If the case may arise, you can use this for cordage, for tying, so several different reasons, and it weighs almost near nothing, just a few ounces. I've got a bottle of CLP, the smaller type. Picked this up at a recent gun show. Felt like this may be beneficial. I'm not actually going to go into guns for the simple fact I can't have a gun where I work at in my vehicle. However, if I'm off work, then my weapon will be in my car. So I do keep that, as well as weapons at a close by house in case I need to get to them. 100 feet of paracord, and then I picked this safety vest up. I can't even remember where I think it was 75 cents. I can use this for signaling. I can use this for maybe I've ran out of all options of water. I could use this in order to catch dew outside of my tent in the morning. So several different reasons you can use this, but the main purpose I got this was for signaling if I needed to get rescued. Inside of this container is a Burton stove. I've taken this multiple times with me camping, and I've got it sealed with duct tape, in case for whatever reason, if this thing was to absolutely get soaking wet, it'll keep my stove dry. So got that. Here's probably one of the most beneficial things, and if you guys can see that, I paid $19.99 for this. This thing is recommended up to 50 gallons. However, I actually made a quick phone call to Frontier Pro and talked to their research and development team, and they've actually tested this thing up to 100 gallons. Now I won't go into a whole lot of details about that. You can do some research online. This thing is absolutely phenomenal, and just for the purpose of this video, I am going to break this out and go over it real quick. This is basically the filter. There's a carbon filter inside of here, and then you've also got these internal filters, which are cotton. Now there's a tube inside of this, as well as replacement cotton filters. So essentially about every 12.5 gallons you would need to replace this cotton filter. But it's got a bite valve, which is of course hidden inside of this compartment. This piece here is actually designed to clip onto a Camelback. So you take off your bite valve and you insert this, and now you have a way to drink. If you're using a 2 or 3 liter water bladder, you've got the ability to filter out that much water on the go. For $20, how could you beat it? Once you're done with it, you just throw it away. Again, this has a straw with a different type of attachment here that you connect a straw to, and you can hook it straight up to a 20-ounce Mountain Dew bottle. Frontier Pro water filter. I mean, how could you go wrong with that? Have different means of lighting. Of course, a small hand light, which is my Surefire Outdoorsman. The reason I actually selected this particular light for my bag is for the simple fact that I can use this clip here and clip it to my hat and use it hands-free if my primary light was to fail on me. I have 2 separate batteries and waterproof bags. A Bic lighter, they're $1. How come you don't have one in your bag? These are Proforce. I believe they're actually also a subsidiary of Big Net. I'm not 100% positive on this. These lighters are, or these matches are absolute beast. Look at the size of the actual the head on the actual match itself. I've actually went through several packets of these camping. In regards to lighting a fire, if I feel like it's safe, I've got a plastic dip can that I use. You don't want to use some of the ones that have the cardboard bottom because water can soak through, so you want to use plastic if you're going to use this method, or some other type of device. But I had a friend give me this, and it's filled with jute rope, some fat wood chips, so things that I can use for tinder, and so that way I've always got dry tinder with me no matter where I go. I've got 2 additional light sticks that I can use. This is a vial of shaved magnesium. If anybody's ever tried to get a fire started, even with those types of matches, and it's extremely wet, it is difficult. So this will also help ensure, if I need to light a fire in order to warm my, my body, or to cook food, purify water, whatever the case may be, I've got that as an additional backup. This is the it's a headlamp by Petzl. I'm a firm believer that you need to be hands-free, whether you're walking through the woods, whether you're working on a wound, cleaning your gun, reading your maps. You need to have your hands free. But this particular device, picked this up for $10 on sale, and it's only about 26 lumens, so it's not going to have what I call a loud light signature. So I feel like that this is pretty beneficial, and it's got a steel cable, or a wire cable, that basically just the tension on this fits to your head, and it works great. I've used it several times. So this thing is a really neat device that I use for my hands free. And last but not least, I've got a trioxane bar with the cardboard. I can use it for kindling. If it gets wet, no big deal, I just toss it out. But I've got a trioxane bar in there. On this other side is basically, I call my goodies pouch. Anything that's food related. I've got a couple of these different bars, survival bars, high energy bars, whatever you want to call them, vacuum sealed. They're 400 calories a piece, and I've eaten them, and they taste like sugar cookies, maybe just not quite as good, but they'll do the trick. And right there is 1,200 calories. I mean, that's a meal for some people. But in this packet here, I've got multiple other items, pretty much anything that was high calorie, high energy, and also too, like peanut butter, for example, is a good source of protein. So different items there that I can just snack on throughout the day in order to make me to my campsite that night, and keep me going, so that way I don't have to stop constantly or whatever to refuel my energy. So in that side compartment, that's it for that. I'll go ahead and I'll break into this bottom container next. I've got my Rainfly for this particular bag. I'm actually looking for one that may be, there's actually a company that sells them in multicam. I'm actually looking for one for this particular pack. But this one will actually fit around the entire device, including my sleep system, so it just doesn't fit around the frame, so that's absolutely essential. I've got a saw, Baco Laplander saw. This thing is absolutely amazing. If I need to be quiet and gather some wood, or maybe I don't want to just be cutting down a small tree in order for my campfire. I'm actually trying to keep my sound signature down. I can use this, or I can use this as a backup to this one if something was to happen to this one. So, and this thing is absolutely amazing. Got to have a good set of gloves. If your hands fail, you're pretty much doomed to fail as well. So I've got a good pair of a winter water-resistant gloves here. Toilet paper with duct tape. Again, going back to, I may want to be seen. I've got a flare here. I can use this to start a fire, but I don't absolutely have to, because we've covered before, I have multiple means to start a fire, so I can use this if I need to get rescued. Inside of here is my SOL thermal bivy. This basically is just like a sleeping bag. So what I can do is I can insert my sleeping bag inside of this one, which will help the temperature rating of this particular bag, you know, especially during your winter months. So this is an absolute must for me. I carry. I won't even go into details of those. Inside of here is my medical kit. I don't want to open this up because I could technically do a whole separate review on this, but this is the medical kit that I feel like is going to get me home, you know, in a medical emergency. Several different vacuum sealed packs of clothes. I've got your military style silk long johns, silk underwear for extra thermal protection. Here I've got a complete change of socks, underwear, and a t-shirt, vacuum sealed here, and the same here. So really your socks are going to be more important. I'm a firm believer in whatever I can do to boost my morale. Morale is what's going to keep me alive out there and keep me going. You know, in a type of situation to where, you know, disaster is struck, or, you know, in a worst case scenario, a WROL type situation. And here's my actual hygiene kit. I'll go into this in just a second in part 3 of the video. Thanks, guys.